Welcome to the Boss Talk Lounge, powered by The Solution. And I am your host, the Boss Lady. Tonight is Tax Talk Tuesday, and I have a few things that I want to talk about dealing with tax. The dependents and credits. Now, there is a misassumption that just because you have children, you are allowed to file a tax return, even if you did not make any income. If you had no job whatsoever, if you were not a contractor, no self-employment income, no income, zero, zilch. There is a misconception that you are allowed to file a tax return. The answer to that is no, because you have no income to file on a tax return. You have no wages, no self-employment income. The assumption of filing children on a tax return, even if you don't have any income, is possibly stemming from the fact that children and dependents will give a person earned income credit, or EIC, or EITC, earned income tax credit. That is a myth. That is not true. You cannot file a tax return without any income. That is the purpose of filing a return. A return is a document that you fill out to find out if you paid too much in taxes throughout the year or too little in taxes throughout the year. So if you didn't pay anything at all, there's nothing for you to put on a tax return. And when you get a refund, if you get a refund, that refund stems from the fact that you have overpaid taxes throughout the year on your job. Or if you're self-employed and you paid in self-employment tax, or you paid taxes in on that self-employment income. Now, the other question that I have been asked is, why is my refund so low and I have 3 minor children? The oldest possibly age 5. The youngest, not even a month old. Now, I'm going to break it down and explain it to you. And yes, the person possibly had income. One thing that you should know is, if you have too much income or too little income, that will also affect the amount of refund that you are allowed to get, along with other variables. Another variable is if you paid any taxes in at all on your job, or if you paid in too little taxes or too much. If you paid in too much, again, that can be grounds for you to get a refund or a larger refund, possibly. If you paid in too little, that would be grounds for you to possibly get a smaller refund or no refund at all, which means you would owe the government or IRS. Now, we'll say that this person made about $9,500 for the entire year, over a span of 12 months, 3 minor children, and that's it. No self-employment income, no contract work, no 1099, just a W-2. And let's say that person only had about $250 in taxes that were paid in. Yes, the person will get earned income credit. Yes, the person will get child tax credit. And that person can possibly get back the taxes that they paid in. Now, just for scenario's sake, the person is due to receive a $5,000 refund. The first thing that a person will think is, well, I have 3 children. Why is my refund so low? I got less back this year than I did last year. Things change. Variables change. Yes, the credits did go up slightly. And yes, you would think one would receive more this year than they did in the previous year. But if that person did not make as much income this year or in 2025 as they did in 2024, then that can possibly be a reason for the refund to be lower than the prior year. Now, let's throw in some numbers. The person made over $11,000 the prior year. This year, that person only made about $9,500. So that right there is one of the reasons why the refund is lower. Also, the amount of taxes that were paid in was way lower than it was the prior year. That is another reason why the refund would be significantly lower. And just as a reminder, EIC and EITC stands for Earned Income Credit. So that credit is determined by the amount of earned income that you received for the tax year. Now, one third piece to this puzzle is the different brackets of earned income credit that one could possibly receive with 3 minor children. People with no dependents or no qualifying children can also receive earned income credit just for the fact that they had earned income. And the situation still stands that if you make too much income or too little income, that is what determines the amount of refund or the amount of credit that you would receive. I want to also let you know that earned income credits are also what they call refundable credits, which means you will either receive a refund when you normally don't or receive a larger refund. Now, the different brackets for tax year 2025. One with no children, no dependents can receive up to $649 in earned income credit. Another taxpayer who has one qualifying child can receive up to $4,328 in earned income credit. Another taxpayer who has 2 qualifying children can receive up to $7,152 in earned income credit. And then a person or taxpayer who has at least 3 qualifying children can receive up to $8,046 in earned income credit. Now, the key words in this equation is up to. It's not per child. You do not get that amount of money per child. You do not get $8,046 per child. You can receive up to $8,046 in credit for having 3 children. But that income have to be in between the higher and lower of the brackets or of the rate or the table, basically, of the earned income tax credit table. It can't be too high. It can't be too low. It has to be right there in the middle of that earned income tax table. And there is a table that the IRS has. And it will tell you if you have this many children, if your filing status is blah, 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 you have this many children, and if your income is this amount, then this is the amount of credit that you will receive. There is a table. And for people like me that use the IRS approved software, once we put that information in the software, it will let us know. It will calculate those amounts for us. And I don't always just go by the software. I definitely do my due diligence, and I have a table that's open on the side screen where I can physically look to see if those numbers actually match what I have in my software. So I do my due diligence to see if those numbers are about the same. Now, the last tip that I will give you, as it stands, your income may need to be at least about $20,000 or a little over $20,000 gross income, adjusted gross income, need to be around the $20,000 range for you to even maximize these credits. So when people come to you and say, hey, I can maximize those credits, oh, you should get $16,000 back, and you should be weary of that, because that is not always true. That is not always true. And I am going by the table that the IRS.gov website have. So if you are tech savvy out there and you want to just check it yourself, you can easily go to the IRS.gov website and pull up the earned income tax credit tables or earned income credit tables, and it will show you, again, across the top, it has filing statuses. Down the side, it has the income amount, and it tells, and also at the top, it tells you how many children that you should have in order to receive that maximum amount of credit. So you can definitely check that out on the IRS.gov. But that is the information that I wanted to relate to you. I know I stumbled across my words a little bit because I was trying to make it plain enough so people can understand. Please stop listening to the myths of what other people are saying, because everyone's situation is different. Everyone's situation is different. But thank you all for listening to my Tax Talk Tuesday today, and I hope this helps someone. Please listen to it. Please share it. And if you have any questions, my firm is always open to any questions that you have. And you can reach us at 346-443-9682, or you can definitely contact us through my website at www.p as in Paul, B as in boy, S as in Sam, -thesolution.com. That's www.pbs-thesolution.com.